Guys, it's Lexie, and today I'm outside. I'm actually pretty cold, but I just wanted to switch up the backgrounds a little bit. And today I'm pretty excited to be filming my first ever story time video. And I have seen a ton of these on YouTube. I think that they're really fun videos, and I don't know, I just thought I would make one for you guys. And my story is 100% authentic. It actually happened. I even have it on vlog, and I'm going to be telling you guys about the time I got run over in Central Park in New York City, and it was memorable, and it was on my birthday too, so I think I'm just gonna get started with the story, and this is my first time doing it, so if it isn't the best, sorry about that. So I was in New York City for a birthday trip. Basically, I love New York City. I've loved it for a long time, and it was my first time really going there, and I was there for I think 5 days. I arrived there the 11th, and my birthday's on the 13th, so 2 days later is when this happened. We already had most of our week planned out, so on my birthday what we did was first we went and got a smoothie, and then we were planning on going bike riding at Central Park, and then going to like a show later, and then a cute place for lunch. I started out the morning well. I got like a smoothie at this local smoothie place. We got on the subway and we went to Central Park that morning, and what we were gonna do is spend about 2 hours just bike riding. And I haven't been bike riding since maybe I was like 8 or 7, somewhere around there. I don't know, I've just never been that into it, but just bike riding through Central Park sounded really fun to me, and I wanted to kind of like cross that off my bucket list, so I was willing to do that. And then there was people trying to sell their deals, like $10 for 2 hours of a bike ride. Not that low, I don't even remember how much it was, but everyone was just trying to sell to the tourists. So this guy came up to me and my mom, and he told us the offers, and yeah, they sounded pretty good. So yeah, we asked him where we go to get the bikes, and he said just like right across the street. So we followed him to go get our bikes, and we were walking like across the street, and he was like, oh wait, no, it's just right over there, keep going. Then we kept going, and it wasn't there, and he said, oh, just keep going, it's just a little bit longer. And we probably walked like quite a few blocks. We were literally in like a whole other area of New York City just to get the bikes. It was really sketchy, and it was just this tiny shop, but we already made it that far, so we just took the bikes. So we got those bikes, and then we had to like bike all the way back there, and I was like wobbly, so I was a little nervous, but I was just gonna keep going through. So once we got back to Central Park, we saw just a little like mini road carved out for people to go bike riding, and we saw a bunch of people bike riding, so we just went on there and got started. And I was like a little shaky at first, but it was going good. Like I felt like I could do it, so we kept going and going. And then after like maybe 10 minutes or so of bike riding, that's when the incident truly happened. I was bike riding, and then as I was going, I started to like curve to the side, and I was like going sideways, and I wasn't sure how to control myself. And the thing is, supposedly there's like a bike lane and then a lane for like the horse-drawn carriage things. I don't exactly know what they're called. Nobody told us there was like separate areas for each thing, and I feel like maybe we shouldn't have gone with that sketchy guy. We should have just like rented from the park, and they would have told us. So that was probably our mistake, but I didn't know the right area I was supposed to be in or anything. So I started to curve and curve and curve, and I was like starting to lose control, and then right as that happened, there was like a horse-drawn carriage thing that just like went right there, and then we crashed into each other, and I fell down, and the wheel of the carriage like went over my leg and then back over my leg once it realized I was down. And oh my god, that was like a really scary moment. I almost thought that I had like broken my leg and the trip was ruined, and I didn't know what was happening. And I was really glad the horse didn't get hurt, because I was kind of scared that the horse was going to be hurt after that. When I actually fell and like got my leg run over, it was like in slow motion. I was so scared at that moment, because I had never really experienced something like that before. I mean, most people haven't. So I was really scared at first, and then everyone like around me just like stopped and started looking at me, asking if I was okay. I was laying down on the ground for a long time, and people just kept coming over to me asking if I was okay. And there was actually a doctor there, which was really lucky, and she sort of like checked out my knee, made sure everything was all right. She didn't think it was broken, because she actually helped me like stand up and put pressure on it. And yeah, luckily things weren't broken. I was so glad about that. But my mom still wanted me to get things checked out, because like it went over my leg completely, and it was pretty painful. So someone there, I don't exactly know who, they called 911, and then they sent an ambulance my way, and oh my gosh, it was just so scary. So that whole area was just like no one bike riding. Everyone was sort of just stopped. A few people were like going around, and I felt bad for like the family that was sitting in the thing that ran over me, because they just had to sit there and wait. But yeah, it was pretty scary. Everyone was just kind of like asking me questions. I was was talking to them. So eventually an ambulance with the police got there, and it took quite a while because Central Park, if you don't know, is a very large park, so it's kind of hard to tell what section I'm in, but eventually like someone was trying to give them directions and they found the way. It's just a normal bike riding road, and you see like a big red flashing ambulance coming down. It was making a big scene, so I was feeling a little bit awkward, but once the police and the ambulance arrived, they were really nice and caring. They helped me get into like a stretcher thing and load me up and put the bikes in there so they could go and return the bikes and like make sure I was doing alright. So once I was in there was like 2 guys, and they were both really nice. I doubt they're gonna watch this video, but if they do, I want to say a huge thank you to them. They basically like took my heartbeat, they bandaged up my knee and checked it out, all that sort of stuff, made sure I was doing alright, and then they just gave me and my mom a ride back to like the bike shop that was really far away, and they just returned the bikes. They were really nice about it. So then once we were back at the bike shop, I sort of just like sat down on a bench for a while. I decided I just wanted to go on with the day. Like, I was not gonna let this ruin my New York trip. So we carried through the rest of our plans. We went to lunch, we went to a show later. As I went on my phone, like maybe an hour or 2 after the experience, I saw like a bunch of people who found my Twitter, and they were fighting about the whole thing. There were like some animal rights activists, and then the people who drive the carriages, they were like getting into a heated debate about it. And also a bunch of like news channels were tweeting at me asking if I could like go and do an interview so that I could be on their news network. And I don't know, I didn't find this like whole event newsworthy, but apparently they did. And also New York Post, I realized, did an article about this thing, and I was so shocked when I saw that I was on New York Post, but I guess it was a slow news day. I'm pretty sure the article is still up if you want to go check it out. There was like some wrong information in it at first, and my mom had to like contact them to fix it because it was kind of like all whacked out. But actually I forgot to mention, as I was getting like loaded into the ambulance, there was a photographer at the end of the ambulance when the doors were still open, and he was literally snapping pictures of me, and I felt really weirded out. It was like this creepy old guy, but yeah, anyways, I still went on with the rest of the trip, and overall it was a really fun experience. I don't know if I told this story right or interesting enough, but hey, I'm new to these story time videos, and if you guys enjoy it, I can definitely do more. My life isn't that interesting, but occasionally there's weird things that happen like this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about this whole thing, you can let me know down below. And I'm not blaming the carriage guy at all. It was definitely probably my fault because I didn't know much about the ways of the Central Park Road thing, and I wasn't that good at bike riding either. So not blaming anyone, it was probably my mistake. But I will see you guys next week, and this bird is really annoying me, so yeah, bye guys. Sometimes I actually regret not accepting any of like the interviews because I could have gone and like promoted It's Me Lexie 1 so hard.